So I had this big plan on how to do a film on how to film yourself, and I knew exactly where it was going to come. Out there. And it's beautiful, beautiful park in Guildford, but it is blowing a gale today. Not quite the way that I'd planned to do it, but we will work out some other way of being able to show you. So there are two elements that are really important when you're talking about how to film yourself. We've all seen YouTube, well, I'm assuming we've seen YouTube, you're seeing this on YouTube, so I'm assuming you've been here before. And we've seen so many people film themselves and look confident, look happy, look comfortable in terms of how they're going to be on camera. First of all, it's a skill. It's not that easy. We're not all just going to be supernatural as soon as we get on camera. It's taken me a while. I still don't think I'm absolutely perfect on camera, but that's probably me being a little bit self-critical. But it's got to be yourself. You cannot try and be someone else. If you suddenly are trying to be someone else on YouTube, one of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to have comparisons, people are going to start commenting, stop trying to be like X, Y, or Z, or you're just going to end up burning out and eventually resorting to being yourself, at which point people think, well, this isn't the person that I signed up for. So be yourself. That's the most important thing. People like you for who you are. Be yourself on camera as much as you are in real life. Secondly, it's how to film yourself, and that's the tricky part, and there are just a number of different ways that you can do it. There are a lot of different options for how you can film yourself, and how you do it depends purely on what equipment you have and how you feel comfortable. So the most simple, straightforward way is actually just to film yourself on an iPhone. So this is filming yourself with an iPhone, and this is a really simple, straightforward system for being able to film yourself. It's fine, it works really well. The problem with this one is sometimes the audio can be a little bit dodgy. Sound does, I don't know why, I don't know whether it's my phone or whether it's iPhones generally, but the sound can sometimes decide to come and go, particularly if it's a little bit windy. Seems to just decide to cut out every so often just to be able to account for wind noise and all of those sorts of things. But it works. The problem is that it clearly is an iPhone. So you can see the depth of field if you look into the back. Everything's in focus all the way into the distance. But you can see yourself, you can make sure the framing's all correct and you can make sure that everything looks okay. But it always just feels like an iPhone. It doesn't have the feel of anything particularly cinematic. But if this is what you've got, use it. It's absolutely fine. It works well. And the next stage to film yourself is to use a little camera and a microphone. Now, admittedly, this microphone is a little bit ridiculous for this camera, and I'm using a little Manfrotto tripod here just to help hold the camera. It just makes it easier to be able to stabilize it, makes it easier to be able to hold it still rather than actually just having to grip the camera. To be honest, with a camera this size, it's fairly straightforward, but this just also, in most situations, other than when you're sitting in a car, will make it much easier to be able to actually hold it and aim it in the right direction. So this is a really good option if you've got a little camera, put a little microphone on it. The problem is that if you use it without the microphone, the sound just isn't that good. This, for example, is the sound that we get when we're recording without microphone. And then you've got the option of speaking to a fixed tripod. This system isn't perfect right now because, again, we're literally in my car to avoid the winds out there, but it does work really well because actually one of the biggest benefits is you can bring things into view. You've got your hands free, you can actually bring props. Let me just show you this setup that I've got over here. I think we can all agree that that's looking pretty janky. The other different one that I have seen is kind of a combination of two, where essentially you continue to talk to yourself on a handheld tripod, but then you can actually put the tripod down and talk to it, and you've got your hands free for a few moments. So actually you can do this. It gives a real sort of conversational sense to the video because actually you're talking to somebody, and then really simply you can change camera positions so that actually you can then carry on the conversation as though you're talking to a group of people. So it feels slightly less weird. The cuts with this one do take a little bit more work and a little bit more care and attention, but it is something worth doing. Especially if you want a look that's just going to be a little bit different from most of the things that people are doing at the moment. So I really hope that's been helpful. I really hope that that has given you a bit of an introduction on how to film yourself. I understand that the circumstances of this are not ideal, but it's, yeah, It is blowing a hoolie out there, as I believe they say. And you wouldn't have been able to hear me even with the wind deflector on the actual microphone. We'll see how well that works. Hopefully that's been helpful. Please remember to subscribe. It's going to actually check that the camera is recording. Yeah, in case you're wondering how I check to see whether the camera is recording, I don't have my monitor on here at the moment, so I actually just put the phone into portrait mode and just actually put it behind the camera to be able to check, essentially just like using a mirror. This is part of a long series on how to take better videos, how to take better photographs, how to take better images, and there's going to be a whole lot of these videos. So subscribe to stay up to date, and thank you for watching.